Hey, it is Sunday, it is afternoon, and that means it's time for Morgan's lazy Sunday afternoon quote unquote productivity stream, where sometimes we're lazy and sometimes we're productive, but we always have snacks. With me today, I have Sako Tumi and Doc Coleman. Say hello to the nice people.
Hello to the
Hello, nice
nice
people.
people.
So tell our audience who you are and what you're working on today.
I guess I'll go first. I am Sako Tumi, also known as Voit. I write horror and I'm a witch and I'm a graphic designer, which means I do a lot of book publishing stuff. So sometimes I combine those three things, especially when I'm writing. So I just got back from Necronomicon and I have decided, it was recommended to me, in fact, to make a pitch for being a guest for conventions.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of like putting that together for 2024.
That's awesome. I'm so excited. Doc?
And I am Doc Coleman. I write about mad science, manners, and mayhem. And I'm here. No, it's last week I had a very full week. I did. My wife has just discovered a stash of fireplace lighters and just did a dual-handed flame on.
Very
But
nice.
last weekend we went out to the Renaissance Festival, and of course, last week for stream time, I was absolutely exhausted from walking around all day, and that turned into a trial and tribulation. As apparently, I also cracked a tooth and got an infection. And ended up having to go in and have some dental surgery over the week.
Oh
But
no.
I'm feeling better now, even though I'm
Hey.
still slicing my tongue up on the sharp edge of my truncated tooth. But I'm here. I'm going to try to do some writing and talk a little bit less. So we'll see how that goes. No.
Yeah. And I'm Morgan Hazelwood. I am currently sending out query letters, which are letters you send to agents to say, hey, represent me and find me a publisher. And currently I sent out 7 last week, 3 the week before. I've gotten 2 rejections so far. Wait, let me check my spam folder.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
no, 7.
Mm.
So I've only gotten 2 rejections so far, but most agents respond in somewhere between 6 to 8 weeks, and half of them are, if you don't hear back in 6 to 8 weeks, assume the answer is no. But none of the ones that are no answer means no thank you, just ghost you. They all say, hey, we got your thing. So at least you know it's not sitting in the spam folder.
Yeah.
So
if anyone recognizes the ducky that was washed and was impaled on the tea filter to dry, it is now once again put back together and ready for the cat to play with.
very nice. Very nice. So
Ducky
I'm gonna
lives.
say nope, I went away again. So let's pop into the audience and say hi to everybody. So Felicia's here. Hello, Felicia, sorry. And Sarah is here. Hello and welcome. RC Scott swung by and shared a lot of emoji at us.
Yeah.
Victoria is here. Hello. Cool Gamer made it. Hello and welcome.
Oh, hi.
Hey, King Red Spy Red X is here. Hello. Desdemona made it. Hi.
Hey.
And Debbie. Oh my gosh, we have a full room today. Green ruled. I think you're a first timer. If not, let me know. But I try to remember.
I'll just note that I super love their Avatar because
Right?
that movie was
Yeah.
so good.
It was really good. So cool. Awesome. What is everybody working on today? Or are y'all just here to eat snacks and go home?
I'm definitely going to eat snacks, but I am looking into alternative services for making my own audiobook.
Ooh, okay.
So, because I want to get the audiobook for Flambeau out by the time we are done writing the sequel.
Sure.
So, my dad has offered to be my
Good.
narrator,
Ooh.
which is cool because I like his voice and he
Yeah.
does public speaking and
Mhm.
you know all he's also a writer of in his own right. So I feel like he would be a great choice for Flambeau specifically.
Nice. And that means he's read it.
Yes.
So
As in no surprises when he gets to certain parts of the language.
So remember how I was talking to some people about doing some audiobook narration?
Right.
I sent off my sample and I heard nothing. I'm like, is it because I had an attachment? Did I go to their spam? And I reached out yesterday, and Day Job has just been swamping them, but they have it, and they'll nudge on Monday. So
Okay.
but I'm gonna have a new
Okay.
phone before then, so I'm gonna have to re-record the whole thing, I'm sure. So it
I'm
sounds
sure.
yeah. But it was a sample. It was a, hey, is there anything I need to adjust? Like I never expected it to be a polished.
Yeah.
So
Most of the time when you send something out to somebody and you don't hear anything back, it's not you. It's everything else, but not
right.
you.
Right. But it did have a link, and I'd never emailed that account before. So sometimes that makes it go to spam. So
Yeah.
it was worth checking in, but we're good.
Worth checking in. Yeah.
So yeah, today what I'm going to be working on is I'm going to send out at least 2 more query letters because I want to keep 10 out at a time. And my dad's asked me to beta read for him again because I told him I'm not touching anybody else's stuff until I finish and get this ready to go out. So
So he
yeah.
asked you to touch his stuff.
He likes my beta reading, and sometimes he even listens to it. So
Well, you give
assume
excellent beta.
Is it that he likes your beta reading or that he can get you to do the beta reading?
He's got some other beta readers.
If
And
nothing else, I
Mhm.
mean, 1, you're an excellent beta reader. 2, you're consistent and you don't ghost.
I do try, yeah. So okay.
Well, I haven't had Morgan as a beta reader, but I do know
Beta
that.
read a short for you once, I think.
Did you?
Something about a god of mischief in a library.
Okay, yeah, all right. I guess you did beta read for me once, but
It was a while ago.
But
And it was
once you say that you're gonna do it, you do it. So
no, I've ghosted on my dad several times. But then again, the last 2 times I was like, "Oh, hey, I'm finally ready. Is this the latest and greatest?" Once he was like, "No," and once he was like, "Yes." And then I sent him the feedback, and he's like, "Oh, I updated it while you were beta reading like 3 chapters with feedback from somebody else. Here's the new version." I'm like, "That's literally why I asked you."
all right,
Why
do we
would
need to
you
That's
do
not fair.
do
That's
we
not
need
fair to you.
to script up a panel of things not to do to your beta readers?
It's on my list. I'm giving my better beta reading workshop at Cap Clave next weekend. I should be back just in time for the stream on Sunday because my last panel's at 1. So I'll be done by 2, and it's in Maryland. So I'll be walking in the door about 4.
Okay.
So I'll be running late, but I should be there.
I need to look
yeah.
at my schedule. I like Cap Clave is next weekend. Yes, I need to probably promote my schedule a bit.
Yeah. So I'm super looking forward to it. It's a small local convention in Rockville, Maryland. But we've got some really nice guests this year, I think. I think we have, who do we have? Let me double check. Yeah, we have Charlie Jane Anders and Sarah Pinsker, who are both local. I know Sarah's local. I'm not sure about Charlie Jane Anders, but they're both really amazing authors. And Sarah Pinsker's also a musician, so I'm sure there'll be some of that happening too.
I don't seem to be scheduled for anything on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
But
That makes...
I've got a reading on Friday, a couple panels on, and a signing on Saturday, and it looks like I finish up late Saturday night. So
okay. Yeah, for me, I've got 4 p.m. on Friday, a maker's playlist talking about the music that gets you in the mood. And then 10 p.m. talking about the writer's toolkit. You know, what do we use to put our stuff together? And then Saturday, I've got what are we learning from pandemic era conventions? I really like the accessibility and stuff that we've brought in. And then at 4 p.m., I've got my beta reading workshop. And then on Sunday, my 1 p.m. is help. I have to edit my draft. So that looks like a fun one.
I want to know how Cat Clave actually treats you guys.
Sure.
So after the con, like I would love to hear a review or a overview of what you did and stuff like that.
I went last year. It's about the same size of Maticon, so it's not a huge convention. It's
I'm not expecting it to be.
Yeah.
But they're a fun group. So
it's a small convention. If memory serves me correct, in years past they had carried over invitee lists from year to year, and then a few years ago they changed that process to having people ask every year. So that dropped a bunch of people, of perennial people, and got a bunch of new people in. But they're usually pretty good at getting guests. It's just you have to remember to apply if you want to be a guest. And
it's run by the Washington Science Fiction Society, which is like a sister group to the Baltimore Science Fiction Society. And I think they're smaller than us, but like 80% of their membership is also the Baltimore one. So a lot of Balticon people have some overlap. And, it's half a year away almost. So it spreads it out for them.
I gotcha.
So... I've had a super busy weekend. I was supposed to go to fair, but Ophelia bleeped that over for me.
I heard Ophelia slammed into you guys. Yeah.
Did you see the pictures of the rain? Oh my gosh, I might have to show this.
I think you should probably show the one from Potomac Leather, because it's like some people were saying, "Oh, it's not that rainy; it's just a little water." And then you look at this picture and you see just how high the water is on some of the streets.
So I love rainy days at fair. I'm like, it's just steady rain. We've totally had that before. And then I saw Potomac Leather posted this.
Yep.
Oh.
And it's like
it flooded.
The street entirely flooded, and I think that's actually a couple booths partially flooded. At least the floors are wet. So good call on closing. And this was from earlier today, I believe.
Yeah, this was posted this morning.
So definitely a good call on closing fair today.
I caught that fair closed today. So the people who work the fair were like going into DC for museums and stuff.
Yeah, I'm surprised more of them didn't just say, "Oh my gosh, I have a rest weekend in the middle of fair. Let me just sleep and like wash all the laundry piled up from the last."
It really depends on where you are, because some of the crafters are camping out on site during the weekends, and that also goes for a lot of the performers who travel. So they're stuck there on site.
All the ones that I know of went home.
Oh, because Ramblin' Sailors was in town for this weekend, and they were doing live streams from the pubs where they were supposed to be performing. So they actually performed in the pubs for an online audience, because it was also the only time they could actually get a live stream feed to stay up enough, because no one else was there using their phone.
Hey, if it works, it works. But oof, I cleaned out my workshop and got a COVID vaccine instead, because next weekend I have the convention, and the weekend after I will be flying to Iceland.
Oh, right.
So, I think it's a 9 p.m. So I might be able to fit in at least the first half of the stream. So, but the weekend after, I'm definitely gone. And Doc and Sako, y'all said y'all could run the stream without me.
We could definitely give it an old-fashioned try.
I mean, I might try to log in from Iceland, but I'm not gonna.
I don't expect you to. Yeah.
It is the day before the end of the vacation, though, so it might be a down day at home, and I'm checking up on my emails and stuff.
Watch her log in from Iceland and have better connection than we do.
So the next couple streams are going to be a little weird, but I think it'll be good. So
okay.
So yeah, I am wiped though. I went dancing with Kibby on Friday night because she had a concert, and we totally missed the entire meet and greet. And I did not realize it was. I give off very straight girl vibes.
Oh, I see.
But
and that was not the environment I'd take it.
It was not, but I had plenty of space for dancing, which is what I wanted to do anyway. And I got to hang out with Kibby, which was awesome. And then
Kibby's a trip.
Right. And then yesterday, because I didn't go to fair, I got my COVID shot as a walk-in at Walgreens because CVS was booked up, and then cleaned out my entire workshop. And then today I spent 2 hours helping my bestie pack up her kids' room because she moved a couple months ago, and they haven't gotten all the kids' stuff moved out yet, though. So everything hurts. Everything hurts.
Is that because of the COVID vaccine, or just because of all the stuff you're doing?
I've been on my feet a lot, and they don't like that at all. But also, I had my regular COVID fever and chills about 4 a.m. So because I had this shot earlier in the day than I usually do, so usually it hits me right as I wake up. But this time it kind of woke me in the night. So, but it does mean airports are horrible for catching it. That's how my roommate got it a month or two ago.
Yeah?
So, well, she and a bunch of friends flew out to Vegas and flew back. Everybody else flew back fine. Her flight got canceled, so she was in the airport longer and had to get another room and flew out the next day. And she's the only one who came home with COVID. And you never know how long you're going to be stuck in the airport. So,
yeah.
And people are coming from everywhere, so you don't know what strain they have if you've already, And we managed to not share it with me, which is amazing. But
I heard that Florida was ramping up in COVID.
Yeah. I wish they would have released it a month sooner, because it seems to start spiking in August, not September. So we could get ahead of it, but what you gonna do?
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, I need to see about getting mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Desdemona knows somebody else who caught it at an airport. Yeah. Oh.
Somehow I have been.
Yeah.
I have been negative the whole time I've been traveling. So
yeah, you've got a beast immune system. Not everybody is.
Yeah. Or you're really using all those luck rolls. No.
Oh, I
suspected that.
I was going to say that the cigarettes are killing all the germs.
Maybe.
That's funny.
I mean, I've been lucky enough not to catch COVID, but I have gotten con crud that laid me down. Pretty hard.
Yeah.
I got laid out with walking pneumonia in May of 2020.
Yeah.
That could have been COVID. Yeah. I tested negative, but the tests back then were not great.
Yeah.
So
And if you test on the wrong day, like I tested negative when I first started having symptoms for like 2 days before I popped positive when I did have it last August.
I was already gray and my voice was gone by the time I went in for a test. So
Yeah.
Okay,
let me run through the chat real quick and then we'll get to a sprint. So let's see. Victoria has to finish an essay that's due tonight. Desdemona is working on more editing, but is up to chapter 15.
nice.
Okay, I lied. I didn't get around to beta reading something for Patrick before it was due because I wasn't done with mine. I was trying to, and I thought I would be done in plenty of time, and it just didn't happen. And I am so sorry. Speaking of Patrick, he says he's working on translating writing into science because his character trauma bonded to it. Irritating, but non-fatal and convincing.
Trauma bonded to science. Okay.
Hey, I mean,
if it works, it works.
People pick their special interests and roll with it, you know? Raven says, today's productivity of any sort has been called on account of rain and chill.
Yeah. That's what I hear.
So Raven's having snacking sprints.
Sarah is over on my Twitch watching ads. I need to be better about timing when we go to sprint so that the ads line up with those.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry, Sarah.
Yeah, it takes a lot of learning and a lot of
I do have that window open, so we need to figure out how I can help cue you to hold off because there's an ad up. But
yeah. So I did get money from Facebook for my page, like
good,
enough to like buy dinner for August. And they said they were doing something special in August, and I don't know if they put me on the creator thing or like they were giving a double or nothing. I don't know what happened, but we'll see what happens at the end of September. But nothing else has given me money other than people giving me donations, and I'm paying for the web.
When are you advertising?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no.
What are you advertising is what I asked.
I don't know.
I don't think she's actually doing any formal advertising. I think she's just posting in terms of all the stuff that she's doing, and so that's creating a
doing Facebook ads. Yeah.
No Facebook ads. For Balticon, but not for any of my stuff.
No,
I'm terrified that like I'll put out an ad, and then the next week will be a bum post. Because I don't prep them, you know. I do have some like backup ones, but you know, it happens. So anyway, Debbie is working on writing a comic book or a comic script, but isn't sure what project it'll be, and baking bread. And it's just a basic white bread. So Raven said, right? Raven says, as soon as he said that productivity was called on account of rain and chill, the sun came out after raining nearly the whole day. So RC is sprinting. Yay! And now Sarah's actually here. Sorry. Thank you for sitting through the... So, Felicia said, oh, I'm not supposed to touch it until the beta reading is done.
Right.
It's a struggle.
Traditional. Otherwise, you're going to read in your beta feedback. They're going to have something that's going to say, "This is beautiful. Don't touch that." And you're going to check, and it's no longer going to be in your manuscript because you touched it.
I recommend making folders for each of your beta readers, and then giving them the same copy of everything, but nobody can see each other's comments. And then when they're all done, go through each of them and put them all in a file.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or be like me and have multiple screens and have it open in 4 different windows on one, and then the main document on the other, and try not to lose track of which copy's which.
Sure. Yeah.
I
just made a list of all the comments made, and
for the line edits, that I do what I said. For the bigger stuff, I move those comments elsewhere and close them. But like for a typo or a line edit, it's not worth transferring.
It's not worth transferring. Yeah.
See, I send my stuff out in sections. When I get feedback from everybody on a section, I go ahead and put those comments into my main document. So I could start working on those, or I could wait for the next section to come by. So usually I schedule so much time to try to get everything in, and then I start going through the comments.
Yeah.
Do you do it by chapter?
I do 5 chapter chunks because I tend to do short chapters. Your mileage may vary.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like doing chunks personally if I can find people who have the time, because one of my biggest concerns is pacing, and you don't get that in chunks. So
I get
disagree.
Slices of it. That's why I do 5 chapter chunks. Instead of chapter by chapter. No, you do not get pacing.
You also have like a pulpy adventure that's really high paced the whole time, where mine has some lulls, and it's a slower story. I don't write that fast paced stuff.
There are places in my stories where the characters stop and regroup, but there is a difference based on style. That is definitely true. But my big problem is whenever I have sent the whole manuscript out, people have ghosted me.
Yeah, I've had very few people ghost me. I don't know if I'm just super picky about who I pick, or I've just been lucky, but
I need to revamp the way that I put my book out.
Sure.
Because in the past, I have given them the entire manuscript and then given them 3 months to read it and make their commentary and stuff like that. But out of 15 people, 3 people got back to me. So
I try to give them a month, because if they have too much time, then they wait and then they forget about it. And then I'm not actually picky, and if they need another week or 2, I'm totally fine with that.
Right.
But having it's coming up makes people less likely to put it off.
And
I'm like, do you have time right now to do these many pages? Because if they said 6 months ago they'd love to be a beta reader, is very different than today.
Right.
Yeah. So typically what I do, because I chunk it, I allocate 1 week per chunk, and then may throw in an extra week. And that's the pace. And I'm upfront about this is what the pace is going to be. And ask, can you commit to it? And then the people who are not keeping with the people who are doing stuff early and sending it in, they get the next piece. They can run on ahead. Some of them will finish in half the time. But the people who are running late, I start sending reminders to. And it's like if they want to bail and just say the feedback I've given you so far is what you got, that's fine. But I'd rather them do that than hang out till the deadline.
How many beta readers do you average?
In the 2 books that I've gone through beta, the first time I just had 5. And
that's great.
To me,
that's what I do. 5.
That was my minimum, and
3.
I believe I only had 1 who dropped out in the middle, and he at least got past the first half.
Nice.
The second time I started off with something like 20 beta readers, and ended up with 5. There were an awful lot of people who signed up at the beginning and then just never responded to that first group. So they just kept dropping off. Because it's like, I respect the fact some people are really enthusiastic, but they really don't have time. And other people, life comes up and
Bites them in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to be picky about who is beta reading as well. So if I have like, I only want so many other writers or so many English teachers, you know, I want people from different backgrounds and different genders and different perspectives reading it. So
Right.
I try not to have more than one, maybe two of the same like demographic.
I try to invite both people who are familiar with my genre and then people who have writing backgrounds that aren't in my genre, so that
I'm okay with people who are genre adjacent, but people who don't know your genre at all, sometimes the standard tropes tick them off.
oh no, they're adjacent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like they
genre
do
adjacent is
fantasy or
fine.
sci-fi or
Yeah,
something,
then
and
they're
I do
fine.
horror.
Yeah,
right? So,
because a lot of fantasy and sci-fi has horror elements. So it's not that far of a stretch for them.
Yeah, because my second book was the second book in the series.
Yeah.
I deliberately wanted to have a group of people who had not read the first book and a group of people who had read the first book, because I wanted to make sure that as an episodic series that it was approachable to completely new people, but wasn't overly repetitive for people who knew the backstory.
Right. Yeah, that's why I'm like, hey, if you're not a beta reader on the first round, I might have a second round, and I want fresh eyes for that. So when I do beta readers a second time, I will definitely mix in new readers and old readers.
And I have added people in late.
Nice.
Because to replace people who've dropped out. And most of the time, the people who come in late are more enthused about it and actually finish it up.
And there's also the whole, hey, not everybody can be a beta reader for all my stuff, but if you're excited about reading it, that's awesome. I need people who are excited when it comes out, who get to enjoy it in the polished format without being like, oh, you didn't fix this, or why'd you change that? I want people who are excited to read it in the polished state as well. Not just
I definitely have people who are saying that they don't want to be beta readers because they want to read the finished product when it comes out. And I can respect that.
In that case, I offer them the art creator role.
But going back to Felicia, if I email you and say, hey, I have time tonight to go over these 5 chapters you sent me, if you're editing them that night while I'm giving you the beta feedback, please don't do that. That's the level of don't touch it until the beta readers finish. When they say they're sitting down to give you feedback on the section, don't change the section. Dad. Okay, sorry.
Wait till their stuff comes in, and then you can blame them if you screw anything up.
Exactly. So, oh my gosh, we are so far behind on comments. Let's see.
We are, but this is
Jenna. Right? I love talking craft as well. So Jenna says coffee and tea for the like button. Raven says, help, I have to edit my draft, which is a callback to the panel at Beyond next Sunday, is where I've been for like 3 years. Talking about the rain up at the Ren Fair. Jenna says things were bad even up here in Hagerstown. And Raven says it's a friggin' lake.
Yep. I have not heard if Ellicott City has flooded this yet.
I mean, it's Ellicott City. There's rain.
Yeah.
It's flooded. Like, that's what happens. For those who don't know, Ellicott City near Baltimore has had a lot of trouble with raining, especially since a new development went in and didn't upgrade the drainage. And that was what, 5-10 years ago now?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, part of it was that they paved areas that shouldn't have been paved, which caused water to go downhill faster, which caused the bottom of the hill to flood much more horrifying.
And eroded more, and now it goes even faster. Yeah.
It's like sinkholes and stuff like that, I'm sure.
It's pretty rough. Yeah. So, popping back to my vaccine, Desdemona also knows someone who caught it from an airport. Sarah is working on a video, but should edit a book too. Why can't time be infinite? Why can't we just pause time, do everything we need to do, get some naps, and then start it back up again?
That would do such strange things to dating, but no.
Yeah, right. Alicia says Facebook pays 4 pages if you're a creator, and apparently somehow I'm at the limit and really should do more with it because sometimes I pay attention and sometimes I don't on too many platforms. So
Yeah.
Jenna is lurking in and out while cleaning. Legit. I've done a lot of cleaning in the last couple days, so I get that. Oh, hey, Rita made it. Rita is editing on her phone for a change and is happily deleting unnecessary words. Adega made it. Hello and welcome. Good to have you.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I clicked and then the thing jumped. And Sarah says, oh no, the universe thinks she needs 2 hours of sleep a week. Oh,
Gross.
yeah. So
If you're on the right medications, you can do that, but it takes a toll.
Sure. So what about a sprint? I think
I think a sprint would be a great idea.
I think we'll probably do for a sprint.
Yeah, probably. Okay. And then I might give Catticus what he's been waiting for all day.
Gushy.
The squishy food.
The gushy food day. Wait, where'd the tab go?
I'm definitely going to get a snack, though.
Have you looked under the cat?
Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1. Boom, chakalaka. And we're back. Oh, how was your sprint?
My sprint was mostly spent snacking and learning about this alternative to ACX because ACX doesn't want to recognize me as an author. So I'm looking for a catch, and I'm not finding one. So I'm combing through their FAQ and trying
You've
to
got
see.
an ISBN, right?
Yeah.
That should be all you need.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Amazon and ACX don't talk to each other.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
I agree.
So, Doc, how was your sprint?
I'm sorry. What was your question? You asked me how my sprint went? Yes. Okay. Someone else was talking to me at the same moment. My sprint went okay. Rewriting a section and I don't know. I'm actually changing the flow of the story a little bit because I realized that I had a point where somebody does something, makes a big bold move, and then they kind of don't do anything for the rest of the scene. It's like, okay, let me show a little bit more motivation behind why they did this rather than just pull them out of the scene. Why they're being quiet. They actually learned something.
What? No, not learning anything but that.
Stupid characters have to learn.
Right? So my sprint was spent giving Catticus gushy food because it's the best day of the week, taking some lovely Advil, and starting to go down my agents list to see who's open to querying. And let's see, closed, open, but has specific requirements. So I have to go in and see exactly what they think a query should look like.
So have you ever actually checked to see if there's a querying season? That it might be that
I know when it's not. I know that literate agents typically take August off and are usually back in September and often take a lot of December off. So
okay.
I know like that's the standard, but publishing's a hot mess right now. So a lot of them have not reopened. So
or if they got a lot of stuff over the summer, they may not reopen because they've got plenty of stuff they're shopping.
Yeah, there's that, but then again, a lot of them have clients, and remember, publishing works on a 2 to 3 year delay. What was happening 2 to 3 years ago? And I think book sales dropped by a third, and they're bouncing back, but they're not all the way back up yet to their pre-pandemic levels. Like the chart I was looking at, we're not even back up to the 2015 levels of books. So it's a hard press. It's a hard press.
Yeah, so. I was under the impression that the pandemic did great things for book sales because there were all these people that were, at home learning new skills and
nope, they were writing books and baking bread.
Apparently. Well, I thought they were at least buying books about baking bread. No.
You'd think, but you can also find that on Google
and YouTube, right?
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, such a yawn. So, popping up in the comments. Let's see. Scott swung by and said hi, but he couldn't stay because he had a podcast interview, but is sending love, support, and mayonnaise margaritas because he has an ungodly obsession with mayonnaise.
Yeah. If mayonnaise was made into a person,
he'd be set.
He'd be set. He should make a cosplay as Mayo.
And go as a Mayo. But
like Dukes. Yeah.
I've heard there are some places in Europe where they have a unnatural fixation with mayonnaise, but
Yes.
I don't think mayonnaise margaritas comes into it.
I don't think so.
Me neither. So, Mama Maggie swung by. Hello, Maggie.
Hi, Mama.
She says, child is home, lupper is made, and now we return to our regularly scheduled scribbles. Hitting the like button. And currently has 4 YouTube tabs open. Oh my goodness.
Only 4.
Hopefully we're all sprinting at different times.
But are we playing at the same time?
Yeah. Maggie asks, Power Play Press, how is the weather at your end of the hemisphere? Hello, Power Play Press. 3Ps says, cool and thankfully dry. JK swung by. Hello, JK. And says hi to everybody. During the sprint, Desdemona got through a nice little chunk of chapter 15. Jacob says, howdy. I hope you're having a good day. It's Sunday, so no school or anything. Raven scheduled his booster during the sprint. Go
Nice.
you. Boom. Solidarity. Also, I still feel like I got punched. And yeah, so... Rita got, oh, nice, another chapter edited and is ready for the next one. So I was chatting with Sarah a little about Twitch ads, and I'm trying to space them out but not have them obnoxious. So which is better, 2 long ones or 6 short ones? I was leaning 2 long ones, hopefully during the sprint. So
it depends on the content.
Yeah. So I turned on, it's supposed to chat at me with a 3-minute warning now. So hopefully that'll give us time to get into a sprint and stuff.
That would
okay.
Yeah, it would be better for the ads to come up during the sprint, not during the conversation.
Yeah. So I'm trying to work that. So, but I have enough ads scheduled that you don't have to listen to an ad before you watch the stream on Twitch, which, since I've currently earned $2, is not worth inconveniencing you. But if I can get it to work better, hopefully people will stay more on the Twitch. Who knows? So Debbie finished baking that loaf of white bread and wrote 218 words. Snapped.
For a script, that's awesome.
Hey, yeah. Let's see. Maggie says, a hot mess? You're so nice. It's like a class M5 solar flare. Dreaming says, you go girl. Oh no. Sarah took a bath and now she has the hiccups and is so annoyed. I had the hiccups this week and I didn't.
I hate hiccups.
There's nothing to punch because it's yourself. One of the tricks that I try is, they say, like, if you drink out of a water cup backwards, it helps stop it. Do you know the easier way to drink out of a cup backwards, the flip side of a cup, without dribbling all over your face? Get the water in your mouth, then lean forward, then swallow. It's supposed to help with the, spasms of the throat.
Okay. So I learned that they were your diaphragm spasming.
Yeah.
So I calm my diaphragm. And it solves my hiccups every time.
Okay.
So all that Tai Chi and yoga and stuff that I do, yeah, works great.
That's pretty cool. I will try to remember that next time.
So just like deep breath, like all the way down into your diaphragm.
Like if I'm doing a vocal warm-up almost.
I was going to say
not even almost, like exactly like you're doing a vocal warm-up.
Without the singing part.
Yeah.
That sounds like a bit of a specialized skill.
Everybody should be able to learn it though.
Yeah.
True.
So let's see. Maggie says, oh, mayo or aioli?
Well, so far it has been normal mayo and not so much aioli. I think he is interesting enough to be an aioli of some kind. However,
right? Desdemona's with us and thinks aioli more solid than mayo.
So what is the difference between aioli and mayo?
Usually
Spices?
garlic, and sometimes there's other spices and flavors and stuff added.
Yeah, according to Google, or Google's first response, which is Webstronaut store, the online restaurant store. Aioli is made from garlic and olive oil, while mayo is made from egg yolks and canola oil.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
eggs with garlic.
That's a significant difference.
And the oil, olive oil versus canola. So Maggie thinks the oil's the main difference. But,
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I've had mayo that was olive oil based.
Yeah.
And usually it's a better quality mayo. So
the gourmet ones, especially if you're trying to find like a gluten-free, soy-free mayo, that's what you usually end up with.
It's gourmet.
Gourmet.
That sounds like a Shark Tank product.
Right. Let's see. Triple P is the lovely Melissa from Nova Scotia. I will try to remember that.
Powers. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Oh no, Maggie says because of her migraine injections, she can't get the COVID vaccine, the flu, or the shingles booster. That's a horrible trade-off. I'm very sorry.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say there's got to be more to the story than that, but that sounds pretty horrible.
Yeah. Maggie says cheer, cheer, cheer over on Twitch.
I think they were emotes that didn't quite translate to.
Yeah. If they look like little triangles that swirl.
Yeah, they're like little spinning pyramids.
They're super cute.
Cool.
Maggie says she has to turn her head to the left to swallow when she has problems or a migraine because the right side is weaker.
Mm-hmm.
I have a thing where my throat will cramp up, especially if I'm trying to talk or eat while like at an angle, or like when laying down. Sometimes just talking will twinge it, and I think it's because my neck and shoulders are crap, but
it's probably the case.
Yeah, but I get up, I stretch, and try to drink some water, and once I can swallow again, the spasm is gone. And I have a thyroid thing. They image my thyroid regularly. It's not my thyroid, so it's probably just a muscle spasm.
Mm-hmm.
So, Raven says, anytime someone mentions doing something with their diaphragm, all I can think of is Steve Martin joking about a woman singing from her diaphragm and noting how skilled you have to be using the other definition of diaphragm. For those who might not know, it is a type of birth control. It's a device. It's insertable. We'll just leave it there.
It's kind of like a condom for a woman.
Yeah.
And something that would be difficult to get to vibrate, especially to produce singing noises. Anyway,
there we go.
On we go to the next comment.
Anyway, back to Maggie, who has made both aioli and mayo.
Right on.
The soy-free
mayo is a necessity. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Sarah says that the cheers are bits because that's a thing you can get people in Twitch. Maggie says, no, the horrible trade-off is no reduction of migraines yet, and everything tastes like it has anchovy oil in it.
Yeah.
Which is only good if you actually like anchovy oil.
I am so sorry. Even if you did, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Raven would like to express his gratitude that he could bring up that awkward tangent. Doc, did you want to share your own bit?
Not kibbles, but bits. Hey.
And Dreaming had a dream about venomous snakes and spiders threatening their family. So that's fun times.
I had a dream that I had a side piece. So I guess I'm sexually frustrated.
I was going to say, does that have to do with venomous snakes, but
No, it has to do with weird dreams
weird
that are
dreams.
way out
Okay.
of character.
I mean, if you want to be child free, we could talk about poisonous snakes. See what I did there? See what I did there? Okay. Maggie would like to reassure us that anchovy lattes are not coming to Starbucks anytime soon. Oh, even your coffee. Coffee's such a strong flavor. I would have hoped it could have overwhelmed, but oh, that's a disappointment.
I just keep thinking about the venomous snakes and spiders threatening the family, and just imagining them as gangsters. We're gonna make you an offer you can't refuse.
Oh.
Little snakes in trench coats with the 80s shoulder pads on them because they have no shoulders.
Or maybe it's 3 snakes in a trench coat, and one is the shoulders and arms, and one is on top of the other. That's the legs.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
They call Lefty and Legs is with me here now.
So, okay. What do you say we do another sprint? And
I would love to talk about Necronomicon after the next sprint.
Okay, after the next one. Okay.
But first, there must be a sprint.
Oh no! For dreaming, it was one red snake and one leafy green one. So, is Raven comparing us to the River Bottom Nightmare Gang of Muppets from Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, the trench coat.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Maybe it's the spiders in the trench coats with lots and lots of shoulders. No.
Oh, Maggie had a dream that she was trapped in an old vampire and zombies video game and had no choice but to become the vampire queen. She ran away with the vampire air baby and started a kingdom
where each one was guarding an exit in a home that was for some reason out in the woods.
Oh, that's going back to Maggie's.
Okay.
We used coconut water as blood substitute and protected the surviving humans so they could give blood ties.
I mean, who doesn't want a good
That sounds like a short story in the making.
I mean, I've heard coconut water can work as a blood substitute in certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, sprint. Let's do this in 3, 2, 1, boom. Chakalaka laka laka.
There we are. Muted.
And I'm back. And I'm back. Sorry, I had to look for the thing. The
thing
thing
with the
was hidden.
stuff.
Yup.
Yep.
So, anyway, how was your sprint?
It went pretty good. It got a bit farther with with my edits, and it definitely feels like it all flows much smoother now.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
And how did
I
your
looked
sprint go?
I looked and looked. I listened to the video they had on how to submit and what they were looking for and things, and submitted. And then I found another agency agent that was looking. So, oh yeah. And I'm almost done. I decided I needed to update my query letter with the comps that I have found. So I was doing that just when you asked. Oh, and they had 2 for fun questions just to get like your vibe. And they're like, you could skip it if it's not your thing. And one of it was, what is your sun, moon, and ascendant sign? And I'm like,
Okay.
I don't know. So I went to 3 different sites before I found one that gave me all 3 without making me sign up. So one of them gave me ascendant and sun, but not moon. And I was just like, ah. So, and I wasn't sure the next one was going to give me all that information. And they wanted an email. And I was like, no.
I would have totally gone with, I have no idea.
I mean, that's totally fine. But like, I knew I was a Virgo.
It's a distinctly different vibe, though. It's like, I don't know.
Apparently, my moon is Aquarius and my ascendant is Leo, which makes sense because I'm right after Leo. So, okay. Let me pop into the comments and see how people are doing. Let's see. Oh, for Maggie's story, they discovered coconut water vampires lost their sensitivity to sun. That's kind of cool.
Because they've got all that sunscreen already in their bodies.
Because coconut is sunscreen. Okay.
Yes.
Elsa had wings as the vampire queen and couldn't sleep on. Oh, she also had wings as the vampire queen and couldn't sleep on her back anymore because they were lumpy. And then Maggie woke up and realized she had a throw pillow under her back, but at least it wasn't the cat or the dog.
Yeah.
Down 1 stream is only on 3 right now. So, it gave me my last fits. Thank you. Debbie got 160 words. Nicely done. Raven started dishes, put some stuff in the pointless recycling bins, pulled the dying bath mat out of the shower, and
out of the Shire.
Right?
Yeah, the Shire bath mat, yes.
Shire weather right now. Fall makes me think of Hobbiton. You gotta feast and like store up food for the winter, something like that. Lots of naps. They never talk about how many naps hobbits have, but with that many meals, you know they have at least 1 a day.
Yeah, there's some kind of carb coma heading their way.
Yeah, definitely. So, and Raven's still trying to figure out if he wants to make something for dinner or not. Yeah. So Desdemona got sucked away by research, so less editing this time. Yep, it happens. So Maggie says she had to change laundry loads, and apparently it's spring in the Shire. Oh, if you consider, New Zealand the Shire.
Yeah.
Rather than just based on it. Yeah. I'll grant you that much. I'll grant you that much. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm almost done sending this out, and then I have to pick out a new microphone, and I didn't get to any editing or beta reading.
Have you chosen your new microphone?
No. I have a lot of suggestions. I think I'm leaning towards one that 3 people, one of which is a professional and one of which has been a hobby podcaster, recommended rather than some of the other ones, partially because it's within my budget and,
Is this another USB mic?
No, they talked me into getting the mixer, but it's just like a little
Okay.
small adapter thing. So I'm like, I
Mhm.
do an adapter as long as it's not like a whole thing, like a sound box. Like that seemed ridiculous for my level.
Yeah, I mean, there's I got this setup with an XLR mic, but I use that with my one of my Zooms that actually has the XLR ports in the bottom of it.
So
Mm-hmm.
me just going off of like microphones friends have recommended me, thought you were talking about like Zoom the program, not Zoom as a microphone type.
Zoom
Had
Zoom
no
is
clue. Had
Zoom,
never heard of it.
Zoom is a microphone brand name.
Thank you. Google
they're
informed me.
they're well known for uh, uh, compact, portable, independent stereo microphone setups.
I've got my pop filter
Mm-hmm.
right here.
Yep.
And I've got this lovely Blue Yeti microphone, but
Which no longer works.
the USB port had to be replaced and resoldered onto the board like 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I plugged it in and it stopped lighting up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no power going to it anymore. And I think one fix is the maximum number of times I will repair a microphone if my budget allows it before I say, especially since when I went looking for the replacement part, the top like 10 reviews for that replacement USB part, it's just like a USB adapter, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
where you plug it into a board, were for this exact microphone.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, clearly this microphone has an issue. So,
Yeah, I know some people really love the blue mics.
yeah,
But
it did me good for like 6 years, but it's done. It's done.
The very first mic I ever got was a Snowball.
Mm-hmm.
And because I knew people who absolutely swore that they had the Snowball and it was great, and I go and hooked it into my Mac, and it's like, okay, I'm getting no throughput on this. It's like it's got a muffler on it.
Oh dear.
So I don't know if it's something about how it connects up to the software in the Mac, or what.
I had to turn the gain all the way down for it not to sound like I was talking like that, you know.
See, I had exactly the opposite problem with mine, but I've been much happier since I switched to the Zoom mics, and it means that I've got portable mics for podcasting, so I can do remote stuff.
Yeah. Maggie loves her fine, but it will pick up the dogs from 4 rooms away. Yeah, that's something else. I want something that, does mostly one directional. So because I have the new sound buffering thing to go behind it, see, it's got all the foam and it sits on my desktop. So I can minimize, when I was recording for the audiobook narration, I stopped my clock, I turned off the air and the fan, and just trying to put my best foot forward. And I flung my mouse. I lost my mouse.
Is it a cordless mouse? Is it a lemming heading for the sea?
It's a cordless mouse, and it's I don't know what happened to it.
Catticus is playing with it. No.
He is not. He wandered off after trying to nibble on me for a little bit.
But
oh my gosh. Okay, no, close the camera. Open the Oh, okay. It is way under there. It's like all the way up against the table over there. So I'll have to go back and find it in a bit.
Yeah.
So,
but
how was your progress? What did you get done this sprint?
What did I get done?
I remember me talking. I don't remember you talking.
I talked first, but no, I haven't quite finished up the scene, but I am getting close to the end of it.
Nice.
But it feels like things are going smoother. That I've changed the kind of conflict between the characters, and I'm showing a bit more pride and a little less anger from one of the characters, which actually makes him come off as a little bit more intelligent than before. And I think it makes
which is definitely a stereotype I think people deal with, is like, oh, only that anger belongs to people who are lesser. When really people who are not lesser have no constraints on their anger sometimes, because nobody will tell them no.
Yeah.
Politics, cough, cough.
Yep. Well, this character is a political advisor, so
people are special.
Yep.
And that's why it's fun creating characters. Are you going to do NaNoWriMo this year?
I have been thinking that I'm going to do it. Theoretically, if I'm going to do NaNoWriMo, I really should get back to the first book in my YA trilogy and really kind of start that over from scratch.
Sure.
Because when I was doing that the first time around, a lot of it was basically I had no plan going in, and every time I started writing, I would say, "Oh, I'm going to do this with these characters." The next time I would say, "Oh, I'm going to go in this other direction." But now I've got more of an overall idea of how it should go. But yeah, it's part of it is I've got other stuff that I need to get finished up.
Sure.
So we'll see. I do kind of want to do something for Nano, just because I've got vacation planned for the middle of it, and that's a great time to write. But
yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Indeed. So Maggie is going to be doing a Rebel Nano and turning the 3 Daisy the Werecow short stories into a novel.
Daisy the Werecow?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
What does Daisy turn into when the moon is full? No.
I believe it's a cow.
This is a human that turns into a cow. That's a werecow.
I could be wrong. Desdemona is hoping to write the draft for book 2 of her series during Nano. That's awesome. I am debating whether or not I try to write a new story in the space fantasy world, or if I want to try a second stab at my suburban fantasy, because I have some ideas for how to get it back on the rails. So, Daisy the Werecow didn't want to have a human. She liked being a cow.
Okay.
So, and of course, mandatory cat content. Kitty.
Hello.
All hail the feline overlords.
Yep.
Where is mine? He got his gushy food. He got window time, which is amazing, but the weather determines whether or not he gets window time.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you know what I think it's time for? A stretch break.
Okay.
I figure we'll just chat till the end, but oh my gosh. Did I mention I went dancing and then I cleaned my entire garage and helped assemble 3 new shelves? And
I saw the stuff about you cleaning your entire garage and reorganizing it.
What was your stream sprint or your snack sprint? Sprint snack. There we go.
I actually didn't have a chance to get up and get a sprint snack today.
Oh my gosh.
I am inappropriately snacked.
That's
so.
I honestly did not actually enjoy a snack during sprint either, but I said I was helping pack up a friend's house. Her mom made little miniature pumpkin breads for people to take who were helping.
Oh,
So I've been smelling this and I will be eating this, and my roommate can't have any because she's gluten intolerant.
It's
So
not a punishment. It's just the medicine, right?
exactly. So that will be my snack. I do have to make whatever the last meal for this week's HelloFresh is tonight, because tomorrow I get my new HelloFresh.
Oh,
So
I hear my wife in the kitchen messing around with stuff, so I have the feeling that that dinner is in the making,
ooh.
and it will be a complete surprise to me.
Maggie had popcorn for the snack today. Very nice. And returning to our where cow, everyone gives her attitude because she was bitten and changed by the Minotaur prince. But she doesn't want to be a princess either. She liked her job as inn maid and milkmaid. So let's see. Debbie, if Debbie attempts Nano, it will have to be on the werewolf comic script, but not aiming for 50K. Yeah, I hear that. Ooh, Maggie's family consumed all the peanut butter chocolate chip cookies she made this morning. All of them? That's a lot. But I
Didn't
do
they leave
know
any for us? No.
peanut butter chocolate chips is like the easiest recipe for gluten-free chocolate chip cookies. So, and they're delicious, but they're a little dense because peanut butter.
Yeah, but I need to dig out that recipe for fudge that you gave me and see about making fudge.
I can send it to you again. I have it memorized.
I'm sure you do. I know I've got it somewhere, but I need to get the ingredients so I can actually make some.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So Maggie says out of 24 cookies, she only got one. Uno, ichi, ein. I apologize for my pronunciation. My French pronunciation is about like je m'appelle Morgan.
Ow, ow, ow.
It's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. I don't understand why you're wincing.
I'm just thinking that Maggie's family should apologize for eating all of her cookies. So
it's true. It's true. Life is
so
better
wrong.
with cookies. So anyway, we have babbled our way to 6:30. Why don't we tell people who we are and where they can find us and all that stuff? Maggie's like, "Guten Tag, y'all," and says, "Mom never gets more than one." That's not fair. You should grab one while they're still hot, and then go
unless
back
Mama gets a big one. But
ooh.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
So I am Doc Coleman. I write about mad science, manners, and mayhem. If you are interested in finding out more about my writing, you can go to your favorite search engine and search for Doc Coleman Steampunk. And that will take you to my website at doccoleman.com. It'll also help you find my Amazon author page, where I believe you can still look at snippets of my work and decide if it's something that you're going to be more interested in. As Morgan mentioned earlier, I am going to be at Capclave this coming weekend, with Morgan, where I will be doing an author reading. I will be talking about Babylon 5 on Friday night. I will be talking about finding the level of your story on Saturday morning. I'll be doing a book signing on Saturday and hopefully selling some books. And then Saturday evening, I will be talking about the forever life and what it's like for characters who are basically immortal.
Yeah. So, and I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood. I blog, vlog, and podcast, writing tips from the pros, and of course, my own Writerly Musings. And this week, let's see, I was blogging about Publishing, how slim the odds are. Most indie published authors sell about 250 copies. Talking about my query trenches, talking about conlangs, constructed languages, how they're both realistic in the setting, but also pretty cool. And it's up to you what level of language construction you go to. Are you doing like Klingon and Elvish, or are you just giving it a little flavor text? So, and my Capclave schedule is a maker's playlist talking about what we listen to get in the mood to write. The writer's toolkit, what tools we use, what we're learning from pandemic era conventions, accessibility, better beta reading workshop, and on Sunday, help, I have to edit my draft. So check me out wherever you want, and we'll be back again next week for more writing sprints and snacks. Or, I might just be exhausted and laying here post-convention. Could happen.
It could happen.
Could happen.
It's a thing.
Okay.
What time is your beta reader workshop?
I think it's at 4. Yeah, 4 p.m. on Saturday.
Saturday?
So
I may have to sit on that as a shill and feed you good examples. No.
Thank you. I appreciate that. If you want, you can bring a sample of your work to exchange, maybe a page.
Mm-hmm.
So have a great rest of your Sunday. Rest up, eat snacks, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
All right.